So I'm trying a different approach now, way less interaction with that light stream platform. I pay extra so that I can give you guys a phenomenal experience. Yet when I use them, it makes things even worse. So how does that work? Pay a platform that's supposed to make your live streams a lot better, but then when you do use it, it makes it a lot worse. It does not make sense. All right, one more comment, and then I'll get started because it's gonna be a really short one, anyways. Well, not really, but all right. It may look funny, but I'll explain everything in a bit. All right. So let me make sure. Let's see, mic is on. So everything should be good. Hopefully, there's no distractions like they normally try to do. My microphone's on. The cameras are good. All right. So if you can hear me, wag your tail. Okay, I can see that. Cool. Now I know you guys can see me. So here we go. So let's get started with the reason why I look like this. Well, the reason why I'm wearing this like this may look funny is because you have to understand how does weight get released. I mean, sorry, how does heat get released from the body? The only way it gets released, really, obviously, from our pores, but it's through our head because heat rises, right? So if you cover your head, you have a better chance of creating some kind of a sauna, if you may, better than not having something over your head. Because like this with the hoodie, well, this is going to be just that much more of a sauna effect. Okay, now The thing about cutting weight, though, is you have to do it strategically smart, intellectually, uh, 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 properly, so that you don't mess yourself up physically, mentally, and many other ways. Okay, what I mean by that is overheating, dehydrating, obviously, right? Because we're cutting weight, water weight, right? But most of you actually cut the salts as well. Well, we need the sodium. You need the electrolytes, right? You need to make your body conducive to electricity so that you don't need much intake to be able to have the energy that you need. So, for instance, many people don't realize that you actually need fat reserves for endurance, for the long run, for the long fight. Have you not ever seen marathon runners? They're about to reach the finish line, maybe 600 meters. They're not that close, but they're pretty damn close compared to the freaking 16 mile, or what is it, 32, or sometimes even further miles. um, right when they're about to get to the finish line, they just literally start convulsing, and then boom, they just drop, like if they died. That's hitting the wall. That's where all your electrolytes, ATP, everything has been depleted to the T. And if you think about it, what do endurance racers, especially back in the days, now they're becoming better at it. But back in the day, what do they look like? They almost look malnutrition, right? Because they needed to be as light as possible to run as long as possible, right? Well, they would not eat proper fats. But that's the number one fuel for the heart, for the cardiovascular system is fat, obviously healthy fats. So you want to have a good amount of healthy fats that did not go to your fat reserves. So fat reserves that will get negative fat reserves in them would be packaged foods. Those type of fillers, they really don't assimilate properly in the body. So your body will capture them, and then you will see it in your body. It'll get bloated, things like that. It's not about cutting out the salts. Yeah, don't eat too much salt, but you need the sodium. Obviously, she can eliminate um, because it has many other minerals. Now, again, back to this. I'm wearing this because today I want to cut weight. I'm weighing. Actually, I'll show you the actual weight. Interesting. I already cut almost a pound. If you can see, 156.6. Okay, and then I'm gonna go live throughout the night. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you guys how much I'm cutting weight. So I'm gonna go on to show you guys how much weight I have cut from 156. I technically started at 157.8. That was about an hour ago. Okay, and I have been doing some things here and there, but I haven't really got to the workout. Right now, I don't want to overheat. I was supposed to start a while back, but I've been having issues with my live, going live feed. So even though we're under the shade, it's 98 degrees in the shade. It's still pretty damn hot. All right, I live 3,000 miles above sea level in the high desert of California. So already the air is already very dry. All right, very heavy. So it's more, more difficult. And like I said, I'm covered up, so I'm gonna sweat quicker than usual for one. Then after this, I'm just gonna go finish off with a light weight resisted workout throughout the body with light weights. But I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going so that I can use LAM, lactic acid manipulation by breathing. No, that was not a cigarette motion. I'm just saying breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So by you manipulating the lactic acid within you, you'll be able to get the same efforts as someone pumping an insane amount of weight, heavy weight, with a lot of protein. You might think like you're fucking crazy for even saying that. Well, think what you will. You will see that I've been fasting for several years now, over a decade now. I only eat about one meal a day, about 1,200 calories now. That's it. But yet I have the body that I do. Like like a fighter, like Bruce Lee, even a little bit heavier now. I'm actually, for this month, I actually am taking protein to get a little bit of lean muscle mass and then cut it off, so I can show you guys how you guys can do this legally without any crazy substances, anything. And look at that! I guarantee you, the damn light feed is not even working. So hopefully, at least you can hear what is going on. That's awful. Goodness, dude. I hope, I hope it goes. See, it's already cut off. That's crazy. So I'm just gonna continue. So I have another camera down here recording because this is awful, awful quality. I can't believe I pay extra to have this type of quality. This is ridiculous. So I'm gonna record over here. I'm sorry, all my live feeds have been ridiculously awful. You can thank Livestream for that, and several other things. But um, Livestream, it's a great concept, especially if you have a landline. But it's Wi-Fi and things like that. I mean, it's awful. As you can see, I've never had a great connection. So anyhow, the thing is, we need to not only activate the muscles within the circumference of a waist, which is many muscles, we need to activate them, okay, but also manipulate them. So if you activate them, right, they're gonna expand and get those little rips, and eventually they're gonna adjust, adapt, and then they're gonna become, and they're gonna stay bigger and bigger. The more those micro tears, right? Well, with muscle grinding friction, when you activate and then manipulate through the breathing, all right, not only are you activating, but you're also manipulating, meaning one, two, one, two, three, four. If you use this quadrant to go down this way, not only you're activating, but you're also manipulating. That's what creates the muscle grinding friction. So you get away with doing less work, but burning more fat, uh, actually maintaining ATP, because the way you breathe helps you manipulate the lactic acid manipulation, so you don't burn the calories, the ones that you truly need. You only burn the calories, the ones that are weighing you down. All right, which is, they come out of the biggest organ, which is the epidermis, the skin. So I'm gonna do a bunch of running drills. All right, I won't be able to explain it much, but on the follow-up video, hopefully from this video, because this one's awful, I'm just gonna add ad libs to it, to what I'm doing, because I don't want to come back and forth and waste your time. Another thing is, I will be doing it with the mouthpiece in. Remember, my goal is to sweat as much as possible in the least amount of time, so I don't overheat my brain, because you don't want to overheat the brain. But I am capturing my heat within this windbreaker suit, all right, which will become like a sauna. And yeah, it's windbreaky, so some air will get released. But again, I don't want to overheat. I don't want to overtrain. I don't want to overdo this right now. I'm still gonna train more inside. Then I'm gonna do a coffee enema, and you're gonna see I'm gonna weigh nearly 8 pounds. I guarantee you. I'll weigh 150. Um, I would say we'll say by 3 in the morning. I'll go on live, maybe one more before that, maybe twice, and then one more at 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll see how much I weigh. I guarantee you I'll be like 150, 151. From 156.6, I started at 157.8. Now you tell me if you want to use that, and you're gonna see how I look. I'm not gonna look weak. I'm not gonna look deprived. No, because there's certain strategies we must utilize to alchemize our inside. And when you do the coffee enema, you release so much unnecessary weight that no other weight can be taken away. No matter how hard you work out, how long, how much you sweat, doesn't matter, because it's in our intestines. The coffee enema will flush that out. That's why I made the 1, 2, 3, 4 flush. again, I may look funny right now, but I'm guarantee you, you're gonna love the results that I'm gonna show you in a few hours out of the way. As you can see on the ground, that's gonna be put here in the middle for the cross or Jesus Christ, but it's what I need in order to create what I need for my targets throughout my outdoor gym that I'm building here. So I'm gonna move that out of the way real quick so that I can to activate every muscle from the circumference of the waist, from the back and everything, especially my pudgy little back over here that I've been building up today. I'm gonna do this with my mouthpiece in because you need to do it. You burn so many more calories just having this one in, and then the way you breathe so many more calories. Uh, you waste more energy. So much more. The causation. All right. So the first much of distance I have here left 25 meters. Okay, so I'm going to be doing quite a bit of laps because it's such a little distance here. But I want to stay under the sun, and either way, I mean the sun's almost around all my ligaments, everything kind of playful like a little kid. All right, a few laps of that. The next one, I'm gonna go low balance because I'll be low, crunching, activating all the muscles down here and a lot of core as I'm running low. A few, like a duck run, all right? So I'm gonna do a few of that. After that, I'm gonna do a gazelle stride. After that, we're gonna do twisties. We're gonna be doing high knees, and then shuffle. If someone's listening and they're getting something out of this, uh, King Groove, yeah. Hey, what's up, bro? Sorry, brother. I mean, they keep messing with my lights. I mean, this is my second attempt today, and I mean, look at the quality. It's ridiculous, man. So anyhow, I'm trying to cut a lot of weight. All right, so I want to show you guys how I cut weight in a day, to kind of, in a sense, throw it out there that if anybody else needs help with their weight management and such, little time. I have some modalities that are safe, legal, everything, and they work. And you can drop up to 2 to 3 pounds in less than an hour and a half to feeding on and off. I'm actually going to show you guys some from now until tomorrow. If you guys, so nice to see you, King's Group. Thank you for tuning in time trying of entertainment. I do. This is interesting. So now, mouthpiece in. Those of you who do more of a sauna effect is, and most of our heat, an ability, a better chance is not to go heat my body enough heat inside with the muscle grinding friction so that I can release as much water weight right now without going too long, without being too strenuous. I don't want to lose too much ATP. I want to actually also store some healthy fat reserves for the long run if I was to fight, because fat reserves is what fuels the heart and the cardiovascular system. So we need a proper alchemization for one. Is alchemy, really internal alchemy. All right. So remember, LAMBB, lactic acid manipulation by breathing. Even though I'm doing that simple motions right there, the more you breathe that way, right, you never skip a beat for one. But when you're being explosive like that, in through your nose, whichever rhythm you choose, but stick with a certain rhythm accordingly to the motions you're making, okay? And you will see that you will burn so many more calories without wasting ATP. I know it sounds weird. Calories in is not calories out, but I will give you formulas. I mean, scientific fucking medical formulas about, for instance, if you want to sustain your weight. Again, calories in is not calories out, but this gives you an idea. So per every pound you have, you must intake at least 13.8 calories per pound in order to sustain what you have. But obviously, that's what we call BMR, basal metabolic rate. But I will show you how you can figure all that stuff out, so you can know how much. For instance, you might need 1,200 calories in order to sustain your current body weight in a healthy manner. But if you want to do certain things, obviously you might have to up certain things. But because of your output, it's going to burn certain ways. There's also the TEF, thermal effect of food. There's many, many little freaking numbers that you can add up if you want to get that technical, and you will see that you'll be able to truly be master of your own temple, your own vessel. You'll be able to alchemize it. So I just the normal nonchalant flimsy one, then the low one, right? Dark, not like is so long one that looks almost like a uh, 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 space Yeah, guys, not sure what's going on. I'm not sure where you left off. Heard me say, but I'm nowhere near done, nowhere near halfway done with the run, and it's already like so. I've only ran about 7 minutes, if that. And the silly little things that I just did, you probably didn't even get to see much. And already, I know you can't see it much, but I'm already sweating crazy like. All right, and this is what I mean about that. In those 7 minutes, is the equivalent of a jogger jogging for 30 minutes. You might think I'm crazy for saying so, but steady pace cardio kills muscle. Anything that you do repetitive without any overload, like jogging, even swimming, even though it's a phenomenal workout, to a swimmer, swimming eventually becomes steady pace cardio. Steady pace cardio kills lean muscle definition because the body adapts, okay? And you might not allow crazy weight to gain because you're doing all that jogging, but it's actually bad for your joints in many other ways. There's different things you can do to get the equivalence and even better while preserving your AP, your energy, but still burning and chiseling away at the negative fat reserves. Because remember, there's positive fat reserves because our heart needs healthy fats in order for it to go the distance. Okay? Some of you don't even know that, and you guys are probably professional fighters and you don't even know that. All right? But that is the truth. All right? The heart needs fat in order for it to go. Okay? So, anyhow, watch any fight. The Sabib fights. I keep bringing him up because he's badass. But watch, I forgot who he fought, man. Damn it. But he was so lean. He's 6'1", but he fights at my weight at 145. I don't weigh 145 right now, but that would be the fighting weight. But if you can take his punishment for a round and a half, and you keep pressing on him like this, I forgot his name. Jeez, kept pressing on him. Here we go. Here's one that everybody would know. Nate Diaz versus Mcgregor when he beat him. All right, actually, yeah. So how did he beat him? He kept pressing, kept pressing, kept pressing. Even though I mean it looked nasty for Nate Diaz overall, but all that pretty motions that McGregor was doing, he did not have any proper body fat reserves. All right, so that's why he gassed out so quick. He gassed out by the end of the second round. He was already gassed out. Okay, wasn't it two fights? Yeah, I think it was two fights, and I think on the second one, McGregor won because obviously he studied him. But on the first one, I'm saying, I mean, he beat him because McGregor didn't have any proper body fat reserve, so he just gassed himself out. Okay, that goes perfect proof to show you that it happens to Nurmagomedov. I can't even say his name, but the one that beat McGregor as well, the Russian. He looks like a bear, but after a while, if he can sustain it, he might not be able to be here at least because hey, it really does take a taxing on you, especially when you haven't been messing training with your lactic acid manipulation while fasting, meaning while you're at your weakest. All right. That's why you should push yourself to a certain degree, to a certain way, in a strategic manner, to not kill the body, but to test the brain, the mind, because once you do so and the body's being taxed, it goes to spiritual now, emotional kicks in, and now you're truly training with the warrior within. All right, so gotta get going, keep going with this running. I'm nowhere near, I'm barely a third of the way done, not even a third of the way done. So I'm listening, Holmes. I don't know if I got disconnected to a different, let me see, how can I do this? Yeah, because I don't even think this one's even live anymore. It's probably a different one now. Let's see. Let me make sure on my page. Goodness, it's so slow right now. Yeah, so see, they already cut me off. Which one am I on? So I guess maybe 40 minutes ago. So I guess this is the one that's live now. I'm assuming this is the one, so I'm gonna check to see if there's any new comments before I continue. So I just went all the way up to, so I did the normal nonchalant running, then the low stance duck run with swinging, punching, and then after that the gazelle long stride. Reason why you want to do those long strides is when you throw that arm. Look, I'm crossing that plane. Okay, I'm going like that, and you're gonna be like that for a split second, meaning. Oh, see that's a mild form of plyometrics. Landing, deceleration, that's the amortization phase to explode out. So those are mild forms of plyometrics. Not only that, as you're landing, you gotta land softly. That's that deceleration. You're activating muscles, so you're getting explosive and then deep, and then on the landing. All right, so you're burning so many more calories without wasting ATP. It's crazy how that works. So anyhow, so I got done with that, and then also the sprinting. All right, so it looks like I'm still on this one. Cool. So I'm gonna keep going. So now I'm gonna do the high knees. You guys know these high knees, mule kicks, and then twisties. All right, and then I'll do the back shuffle forward sprint, back shuffle forward sprints, and I will add a few uh, plyometrics of squat jumps. All right, high jumpers. If you only see what's going on in here, crunch, crunch, crunch. And not only that, I'm bringing the knees up, so crunching, 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 crunching. When I'm running backwards, that's that still mild form of plyometrics backwards now. Now I'm going to do the twist runs, simple stuff. You guys already know this. Eventually I'll explain it. That's how you get a freaking ab crunch. At least an ab crunch with every single breath if you train with this in. Even when you're not training, if you don't need to talk, put this in at all times and you will see you will be making nearly a crunch with every single breath. It's not like you're going to be there reading a book. No. But you're clenching on it. You're activating all kinds of muscles and you're stabilizing muscles to protect your brain, your jaw, your facial muscles, so it'll keep you looking younger. Again, if you knew my age, you wouldn't believe it. You're like, there's no way you're that old. It's impossible. But again, if you're 24 years old, you could be a little older. I'm old, technically old enough to be your father. That's how old I am. All right, so I'm gonna keep do the high knees, back shuffle with the mule kicks, and I'll show you why we do the mule kicks with the runs, why we do the low running as well, and then I'll finish off with the twisties one more time. After that, the last true session will be the back shuffle forward sprint. Oh, oh. May look like simple motions, and it is, but because of this, makes it that much more challenging mentally every which way possible. So you're also adding neuroplasticity. You're preserving yourself in so many levels: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. No one does that. They think they're doing spiritual by meditating, but they don't intend to do the spiritual by living it. So no, not even Mcgregor. They only do mental and physical. That's about it. All right, but they don't truly know how to work the true emotional. Hence the Bushido code. This is why I'm going to bring up something called Bushido Box, because beyond boxing, we're going to be using like the 7 principles of Bushido. All right. Not only that, the 7 principles of the Kabbalion, or Hermetics, I should say, especially that of the law of rhythm and the law of causation. As above, so below. And now I'm going to do back shuffle forward sprint with a few high jumpers in between. just those few high jumpers at mile former plyometrics. Oh, actually, it's not even mile. That's full plyometrics, almost. Oh, so I can't even think straight right now. But yeah, so it is a mile form of plyometrics technically. So, but just those few in the end loads up that lactic acid. Through breathing, I manipulate it, and I get the same workout that I would have if I was eating a lot of crazy protein, both physical and supplemental, and I was pushing myself extremely hard. I still get the same results without crazy pushing hard. So my body is fully balanced without overtaxing the physical, just like all professionals do. It's natural because of what they're told in the books. Um, even specialists, when it comes to these things, some still follow the book. They don't think outside the box. There's very few that actually do. Um, to truly preserve the body, preserve physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. We still even have the metaphysical. There's different things to do to truly preserve the warrior within and externally, as above, so below, as inside, so outside. Vision is weak, perception is strong. Therefore, your perception is projection. So what you see, any negativity, guess what? You need to change it in you first. And then you will start seeing it out there. Because perception is projection. And it takes one to know one. If you judge somebody that you think has nothing to do with you, guess what? That judgment you have of that person is what your higher self wants you to know about yourself. Maybe not to the T, but the metaphor of it. All right? So look inside before you judge outside. And never, never judge a book by its cover. Ah, Mr. Raven, yes. Yes. I actually have some ravens up here flying around. And if you hear Jack barking, that's not Jack, that's the neighbors. If you hear a dog barking, it's Jack barking at the ravens. Nice to see you, Mr. Raven. Um, trying to spit some, quite literally, it has all kinds of sweat in me. Some unconventional knowledge on weight management for fighting purposes, for competition purposes, I should say. To do it properly without taxing the mental the wrong way, without taxing especially the physical, because a lot of people get to that metabolic burnout rate and then they mess up their ligaments, tendons, their joints, their synaptic neurotransmitting abilities, all kinds of things by what? Dehydrating themselves too much, depleting themselves of iodine or salt, and pushing themselves too much with an empty tank. Well, you can have somewhat of an empty tank, but still have the nutrients if you supplement properly organically. For instance, number one, chlorophyll. We can't photosynthesize. Thank you, Mr. Keeper. Gotta keep going. I'm gonna do one more run of those back shovel forward sprints, and then I'll be done. I'll sign off real quick. I'll do some more workouts here and there. Well, if there's someone on and they have questions, I might just continue the workout here and then do a coffee enema and then report in one more time to show you some of my fights. I would say maybe around 11:30ish tonight. Then after that, I'll do maybe one more light workout and then report in one more time around 3:30 a.m. So in about 6 hours or so, to show you guys how much weight I have cut in a safe manner without pushing myself crazy hard. It's just consistency, unconventional consistency at that, and mainly through breathing. And I guarantee you, I'll be able to show you on that last login how I will drop at least 0.4, well, we'll say zero point 0.2, but nearly 0.4 pounds in a matter of maybe 8 or 9, 10 minutes, however long it takes me to do that last update. And I'll show you on the scale, and you're gonna see a drop of weight because of how I speak, how I breathe. I'm detoxifying as I'm breathing because breathing detoxifies you in at least 70% of your toxins. So if you talk explosively like a true warrior from the gut, like an opera singer, to project the voice, perception is projection. You will see that you will burn calories. you will burn calories. The good calories, meaning the ones you're supposed to not have, if you may, because we are supposed to have healthy fat reserves for the long run, for preservation of self. You need fat. You just need to have proper ones. That's all. So let me check the comments. No new comments. Cool. Gonna keep going. Oh goodness. You may be wondering what the fuck was that last thing. I'll demonstrate with the silly motion, with the silly thing. Imagine if this was a sword, alright? It wouldn't be that long. But if I had an opponent, an attacker, they're gonna try to slice me, right? If they have it, they're gonna try to slice me, some way, right? Either way, it's this way, right? To slice your opponent. If I'm sitting here, ready for the attack, I can easily parry. It's reposition to strike. So parry, parry, strike. So parry, parry, strike, strike, strike. You gotta strike a certain way in order to do it properly. So as I'm doing that motion, what am I doing? Activating a lot of core for one, activating glutes, quads, hamstrings, a little bit of calf. Not only that, with the twist, usually I do it with the lightweight, not heavyweight, just a lightweight, about 7 pounds or so. When you do that, that weight is taking you that way. So you're activating lower back muscles, you're activating them, then you're manipulating them, so muscle grinding friction, not just activation of muscle, right? Muscle grinding friction. Not only that, right here I'm using only right brain. Now I'm using both brain hemispheres. So just by doing this motion here, I'm synchronizing my brain, left and right hemisphere. Here, I'm utilizing the left brain. Once I cross the midline, now I'm using both brain hemispheres. That's synchronization already. Synchronization. Neuroplasticity, all right, because we're making new connections that we're not used to it, okay? Not only that, you're coherent brain to body, hand and eye coordination, neurotransmitters, coherence of ligaments and tendons, spiritual, emotional, warrior within. Truly, just from doing this motion. Not only that, if you're a fighter, a boxer, now with that motion, you got some devastating hooks and uppercuts just with that motion. Not only that, with this motion, Muay Thai, now you got some crazy ass knees, knee motions just from doing these motions. Okay, so like Miyamoto Musashi says, train in a matter where, and I'm paraphrasing, um, to where everything becomes natural, so that everything can be used at all times, not just for fighting, no matter what you're training. Not only that, you learn the rhythm of nature, the real rhythm of nature, and you'll know exactly when to attack your opponent, even if you attack at the wrong time. Yeah, nothing is a mistake. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, so you guys won't think that I'm being silly, but so you guys can take me a little bit more serious. But I was creating a small sauna inside of me. I'm trying to cut a lot of weight, as the title states, weight management. All right, how to do it properly. All right, I haven't pushed myself hard right now, even though I was talking. This was over 35 minutes or so, but I would have finished this in about 12 minutes, and it would have been the equivalent of running, jogging for at least 45 minutes. But yet, this is way more uh, beneficial for one, less taxing for two, and less risky on the body for three, and it helps you preserve four. There's many benefits doing things this way. Not my way, it's the way that it works for the body. All right. The book won't tell you this, okay? But this that I've been training since when I was a kid. I was put in martial arts from 4 years old. Yeah, that doesn't count. 9 years old, kind of. But after that, 11 years old, street fighting, an insane amount of street fighting dudes. No, where I street fighted, everybody was street fighting. So we all knew how to fight pretty damn fucking well. All right, and I stopped counting at 17 years old at 144 street fights after I started to understand Bruce Lee a little bit more. I said, you know what? I don't need to be prideful. If I get in a fight, I get in a fight. Oh, well. I'm just going to protect my community against these gang members. And that's all I would do. And I got many more fights after that. But I'm just saying. Um, so preserve yourself. This is why I always train as if I'm fighting 20 men, because I have gotten to that situation where I was fist fighting over 20 men. Yes. And at one time I was in the snow, sliding out, not snow, but compact flooring outside a club in Alaska, of all places. Right? And I was slipping all over the place, but I used that to my advantage, because where I would train at would be in slick flooring. So I had to stand a certain way, okay, so that I wouldn't slide outward or inward as I'm hitting these heavy shots. And it worked for when I was outdoors. I wouldn't, I still slip, but I would knock these opponents out. I would use them to my advantage. So anyhow, after this, let's see, I already did the running. So let me check if there's any comments. The it's working a lot better now. There's less glitches. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sign off. There's no questions to be addressed or explored like we have before, with questions that were put on here. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go in and do a coffee enema, and I'll report back to show you guys how much. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. Even well, I'll at least take off my shirt. I was gonna say I'm gonna weigh more because everything's soaking wet. Goodness gracious! All right, so overall, my socks are wet as well. My pants are definitely wet. So even though I took that off, I'm probably gonna weigh maybe like 4 ounces more than what I was weighing before when I was fully dry. But I need to check the weight, make sure it's calibrated. Okay, it's definitely not calibrated, so I gotta wait. It's 194 right now. This is 30 pounds. know for sure with this is it's 20 pounds for sure. $20 flat. We'll see if there's a C after the zeros. If there is no C, that means we can trust the current calibration on that scale, and then we'll be able to weigh myself. All right, we can trust the weight now. $153. You might not be able to see it, but 153.4. That's a huge cut already. We'll go ahead and get confirmation. There was no C after the zeros. 153.4, and I'm doing it well over here so that you can see that I'm not changing anything on it. It's still 153.4. Hopefully you've seen it. Doesn't matter to me if you believe me or not. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to help you guys out to manage your guys' weight, or women, the proper way without destroying your brain, without destroying your body, because there is such thing as metabolic burnout, right, that all physique competitors get to after a certain age, a certain point of them pushing themselves so hard, fasted, because they need to have as much shred as possible, right? Which is not a good thing when you're pushing yourself that crazy hard if you're fasted for so many years on end. Okay, if you're not pushing yourself crazy hard, it's okay to fast. Extremely fast. Like me, I only eat about 1,200 calories every 40-hour period or so. Believe it or not. And yet I still get lean muscle definition because, again, lactic acid manipulation by breathing. LAM. Lactic acid manipulation by breathing. You breathe a certain way, you manipulate that lactic acid that builds up with every effort that you, overloading effort you make, and it helps you big time. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out because I need to go do this coffee enema, and you guys already seen already from the beginning of this video, and I guarantee you I weigh a little bit more still because I'm a little wet still from the sweating. I already dropped 3 pounds. Already. My goal tonight, I already know I'm going to reach that easily because after my coffee enema, I'm going to drop at least 2 more pounds, and that's within an hour. Okay, so I'll be down to 151. It's only what? It's about to be 8. So by 10 p.m., I'll already be weighing 151, most likely. But time 3, my final check-in tonight, I guarantee you I'll be 149.6, but looking very swole and with a little bit of snack inside of me, most likely. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm telling you, man, there is ways to cut weight properly. And I mean, if you would see what I look like even before all this cutting weight, you'd be like, wait, what? Why would you even need to cut weight? But you'll see that you can reach phenomenal feats not only to cut weight but also to bulk up. Like Manny Pacquiao. I mean, yeah, he denied certain tests, but I know for a fact that you can bulk up that quickly within a week or two if you're doing the right thing, especially with lactic acid manipulation. And the key is not to overload on meat. That's actually the last thing you want to do. You will put on weight, but it's not proper weight. It's not endurance weight. It's not true strength weight. It's going to slow you way down if you compete against someone who knows what they're doing. No matter what type of competition it may be, whether it's in the street, all right, in the ring, or even a perform competition of some sort, which I'm going to bring to your attention eventually soon. So anyhow, gotta get going. One love, one light. For together our light will shine much brighter. Don't forget, you're unlimited to your creativity. Pain is temporary. Pride is eternal. Fulfillment lasts forever. The fight will be worth it. Whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional, the universe, YOU, inside of you, the universe will reciprocate daily. So my name is Jesus, and I am the creator of the 1, 2, 3, 4 flush, bringing you a transformation from the inside out in at least 4 planes of existences: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. One love, one life, for together our life will shine much brighter. Peace. There goes little Jaggy Jag in the background. All right, so later on I'll come on. We'll do some bag work before it gets